Erev Shabbos. Today is the 27th day of the month of Teves, and Shabbos is Shabbos Mevarchim. As Hashem Yisbarach, we are wrapping up the month of Teves, and we are also at the top of Daf Tzadi Aleph Amud Beis, where the Gemara is going to discuss a statement that we had mentioned yesterday with regards to the Shechita and the Zrika and offering of Karban Pesach for women, by women, on behalf of women, says the Gemara at the top of the page. Gufa, let's deal with what we mentioned yesterday. Isha, with regards to a woman. So Isha Berishan Shechtin Aleh Bifnei Atzma. On Pesach Rishon, meaning the 14th day of the month of Nisan, one can shecht Karban Pesach for a woman by herself, meaning on her own behalf. Of a Sheni and Pesach Sheni, if she missed Pesach Rishon, she wants to do Pesach Sheni. She can join in with another group. She cannot have a Karban Pesach shechted for her alone. Divra Rabbi Yehuda, this is the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi disagrees. He says, Isha b'sheni shechtin aleh b'fnei atzma. You can shecht the Karban Pesach for a woman by herself, even Pesach Sheni. Ve'in sarach loyma b'rishon, and obviously you'd be able to do so as well Pesach Rishon. Rabbi Shimon Omer, there's a third opinion. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Isha b'rishon osim osid tefillah achirim, that a woman, even on Pesach Rishon, you can only shecht a Karban Pesach on her behalf if she is joined together with another group. B'sheni and Pesach Sheni ein shechtin aleh kol ikar. She has no shaychus. She has no involvement in Pesach Sheni. She doesn't bring Pesach Sheni. Now we have to try to ascertain what exactly this machlok is about. Three-way machlok is tanoim. What exactly is this argument here? Rabbi Yehuda holds quotes from the pasuk. Rabbi Yehuda is the one who said that the words of Rabbi Yehuda, let's just review here, is that a woman is able to have Pesach Rishon shechted for by herself, and Pesach Sheni she has to join it. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, Savar, he holds b'michsas nefashos, the pasuk that says, according to the number of nefashos, the number of souls, afilu nashim, that includes nashim. Women also have souls; they're included in that count of b'michsas nefashos. V'chit, amen. Maybe you want to say, if this is so, afilu b'sheni nami. So then why can't she be included? Pesach Sheni. Ksiv, the pasuk says, chet oy yisa ha'ish hahu, that a person that is negligent in bringing Pesach Sheni, that couldn't bring Pesach Rishon because they were tamei, they were derech rechaika, and then they are obligated in Pesach Sheni, and then they chose not to bring Pesach Sheni, they were negligent about that. Says the pasuk, this is the Torah in Sefer Bamidbar, the pasuk says, Chet yis'ah ha'ish hahu, that his sin he will bear this man ish in isha like. That's only true of a man, not true of a woman, meaning that she can join in for a Pesach Sheni, but she is not independently obligated in it. And if she didn't do it, there wouldn't be an Avera. So she has the option of Pesach Sheni, but she is not obligated. V'chi temen, if this is so, ihachi, if you want to say that, if this is, maybe you're going to say, if this is so, then maybe she couldn't bring a Pesach Sheni at all. How come she can join in with another group Pesach Sheni? Maybe if she has no chiyuv, she has no rishus. Ahani kechol chukas haPesach litfila ba'alma. As the pasuk says, kechol chukas haPesach yasosai, that you have to make this Karban Pesach like all of the other halachas with all of the halachas of Pesach, which means just like in Pesach Rishon, person can have the Pesach with their wife. So to Pesach Sheni, they can have the Pesach with their wife. No problem. That's what kechol chukas haPesach means, and that is Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Rabbi Yossi, my time, according to Rabbi Yossi, who holds that the dinim are exactly the same for a woman Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni. There is no difference. Ksiv Parishon, meaning, and she can obviously have it done by both, by herself. Ksiv Parishon, the pasuk says, with regards to the first Pesach, b'michsas nefashos, with the count of souls. Isha, and that obviously means a woman as well. Yes, the same drasha as Rabbi Yehuda. Uksiv Pesach Sheni, and with regards to Pesach Sheni, it says v'nichrosa hanefesh ha'im Yisrael. This nefesh will be cut off from the Jewish people. Nefesh, v'afilu nashim. Nefesh includes women. So, and that's by Pesach Sheni. So then what does he do with the pasuk that he will bear his sin? This man? What does that ha'ishahu come to exclude? No, ish doesn't mean to the exclusion of an isha, it means to the exclusion of a katan, that a katan is not going to be chayiv kares if they didn't bring Karban Pesach. That's a very interesting drasha to make, because since when do we ever have a situation that a katan would be chayiv in a chiyuv kares. So there's what to say that if a katan in the days of Mitzrayim didn't bring a korban pesach, maybe they wouldn't have been saved from Mitzrayim. So they needed to be part of that group. But a katan is not chayiv in kares if they didn't bring korban pesach. The mote katan mi kares. Rabbi Shimon, and according to Rabbi Shimon who holds that Pesach Rishon, she is only a tefillah, she can only join in. Pesach Sheni, nothing, not at all. How does he understand all the psukim? Ksiv, the pasuk says, Barishon afilu ksiv Rishon ish. Pasuk says ish. Where does it mean ish? So we'll have to see which ish we're talking about. Ish, the ish in, yes, a man, ish a light, but not a woman. And that's apparently talking about Pesach Rishon. We'll have to figure out where. And if you want to say, maybe that means that she shouldn't even be able to bring Pesach Rishon at all, meaning she shouldn't be included in Pesach Rishon at all. No, it says with an accounting of nefashos, that means that she can be included. She's allowed to be included in the count of nefashos. She doesn't have it offered by herself, but she is able to be included. And if you want to say that this is true even with Pesach Sheni, that she should be able to be included in Pesach Sheni, the Torah excludes her explicitly in Pesach Sheni. The pasuk says that with regards to Pesach Sheni, he learns up the pasuk ish in ish like. Man, yes, not a woman. So now, what pasuk tells you that she is? What is she excluded from? If it is from the obligation of Pesach, so has to be Rishon. She's not obligated in Pesach Rishon either. Obviously, she wouldn't be obligated in Pesach Sheni. It must be that Chita Yisa Ishahu means that she's excluded even from the possibility from being able to be included in Pesach Sheni on somebody else's korban. She doesn't have the mitzvah at all, meaning she's not allowed to. Umay ish to come on Rabbi Shimon. What is the pasuk ish in Pesach Rishon that Rabbi Shimon is quoting to tell you that woman is not obligated in Pesach Rishon? If you want to say veichulahem ish se lebeis avos selabais, that they should take each man a lem for the base avos for the household. So Hami he needs that pasuk lichte Rabbi Yitzchak. For Rabbi Yitzchak, that ish talking about Pesach Rishon doesn't help Rabbi Shimon because he needs for the din of Rabbi Yitzchak. The Amar ish zeiche ve'in katan zeiche. Rabbi Yitzchak explains that an ish is able to be zeiche, meaning an ish can acquire the korban Pesach ve'in katan zeiche, and a katan cannot acquire the korban Pesach. That there's no kin by a katan. Now the Tosfos here has a discussion. What do you mean that we need Rabbi Yitzchak to teach us the din by korban Pesach? Obviously, a katan cannot be zeiche. So the Tosfos here explains that there is, at least theoretically, a way that a katan would be able to be zeicha, to acquire something midin deraisa, and that would be if somebody gave it to him b'matana. And Rabbi Yitzchak is teaching you that even if somebody gave the katan a korban pesach b'matana, that would not work. It wouldn't work for korban pesach. That there's an exclusion for that. Meaning, there's one way that a katan can have a zechir midaraisa, can own something midaraisa, and that would be if somebody else somebody else, a gadol, gave it to him as a matana. So there's what to talk about. Rav Shechter sometimes points out that this becomes a problem with regards to buying your arba minim from ketanim, because if the katan was given arba minim matana to be able to sell, so it belongs to him on a level of deraisa, but he cannot sell it to you on a level of deraisa, and you need to own it on a level of deraisa. So that becomes an issue. But that's this Tosfos over here. Okay, so it cannot be from that pasuk. Ella ve'ella mi ish lefi achla. Maybe you want to learn from ish lefi achla, a man according to that which he eats. Ha mid Rabbi Yossi savar like Rabbi Shimon. But since Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Shimon, meaning what we discussed before, that Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Shimon, that he holds like Rabbi Shimon that korban pesach cannot be offered on a bamas yachid, and that which we learned be'achad sharecha, in one of your gates, and that tells you that a korban pesach cannot be offered on a bamas yachid. So Rabbi Shimon nami savar like Rabbi Yossi. It makes sense that Rabbi Shimon also holds like Rabbi Yossi, that they share this opinion. And this he's going to need the shechtan Pesach al hayachid, that you are allowed to shech the korban Pesach for an individual. That meaning that's what Rabbi Yossi had learned from Ish Lefi Achla, is that you can shech the korban Pesach for an individual, and you can't learn that from the Be'achad Sharecha to teach you that you can shech korban Pesach for a yachid, because he needs that for the din of Bamas Yachid. So Amarlach, so he will explain to you as follows: Im Kain, if this would be so, Nichtav Rachman, the Torah should have said Lefi Achlai, that meaning we should have read the pasuk, Ish Lefi Achlai. The pasuk says, the pasuk Lo Tzachal Alav Chametz Shivas Yom Tachal Alav Matzos. No, before that. How would we read the pasuk? Yeah. So you could just leave out the ish, and the pasuk would just be lefi achlai tachas alasa michsas v'shos lefi achlai tachas alasa. My ish. What is the word ish coming to include here? Shmamina. What you hear from this is tarti, that there is an additional din, and this is how Rabbi Shimon is going to learn that there is a din of korban Pesach by an isha, but not by an isha. Okay, next conversation, says the Gemara. Geman Azlaha da Amar Rebbe Lazar. Who is the author of this particular idea that was said by Rebbe Lazar? Meaning, whose opinion is this? That Rebbe Lazar said, Isha Barishon Chayva, that a woman is obligated in Pesach Rishon Uvesheni Rishos, and she is allowed to bring korban Pesach she's allowed to bring korban Pesach on Pesach Sheni. V'deichas Shabbos, and it'll violate Shabbos. Meaning you can bring korban Pesach for her on Shabbos. Irushus, if it is not an obligation, it's voluntary. Amay Shabbos. Why would that violate Shabbos? Ela ima, rather you have to say b'sheni rishus, that the second one is voluntary, v'rishon chayva, and the first one is obligatory. V'deichas Shabbos. And that's the one that's going to override Shabbos. But in Hanami, according to the opinion that who is this? Rabbi Yehuda. This is the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda that we had said before. That we said before that Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion that a woman is a chayva in Pesach Rishon and a rishus in Pesach Sheni. But says Rabbi Lazar, if Pesach Sheni falls out on a Shabbos, then you cannot include her because it wouldn't be Deicha Shabbos for her. Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yaakov in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. We should not make a chabura that is entirely made up of converts to Judaism. Why? Maybe they will be very careful with regards to the korban Pesach. They're going to be extra super machmer, and they will end up invalidating their korban. Rashi points out here why specifically Gerim. This is like the Baal Tshuva question, right? Because they didn't grow up with an education. Yachmiru alav. They're going to be very strict. Ledaktik, to be very careful. V'yafsilu al chinam, and they will invalidate it for no reason. Tosfos asks the question that we have evidence to the contrary, that in different places in Shas, converts are seen as much more lax in certain mitzvahs, and it leaves us with a question. Okay, the Gemara continues with the Brisa Tan Rabban. The rabbis told us the following: Brisa Pesach u'matzah umara. We're warming up to these sugyas as we get towards the end of the end of the Masechta, where we talk about Pesach, matzah, umara a lot. The Brisa tells us Pesach, matzah, umara. These three things: korban Pesach, matzah, and mara. Barishon chayva. You have an obligation of them in the first Pesach, meaning in Nisan. Mikan va'elech rishos. And therefore, and going on from that, it is permission, meaning you don't have to do it, and that's going to be strange. What do you mean mikan va'elach, from here on out? It seems to be that means for the rest of Pesach, not talking about Pesach Sheni. Rabbi Shimon says ba'anashim chayva, it's an obligation for men, v'nashim rishus, and women are not obligated in it. They have the ability. They have allowance to it. They have Pesach, Matzah, and Mara, but they're not obligated. So, what exactly are we talking about here? Ilema Pesach. You're talking about the korban Pesach. Pesach kol shiva miika. Since when is there a korban Pesach for all 7 days? That doesn't make any sense. There's never a korban Pesach for all 7 days. By the next morning, it's going to be nicer. At the latest, the next morning. Ve'ela amatzah Mara. And if you're talking about matzah and mara, ema sefer, the end of this Brisa of the statement that this Brisa says, ema sefer, Rabbi Shimon says, "Ba'anashim chavu b'nashim reshus," that men are obligated, women have reshus. They are not obligated; that they are allowed to. So we say, Rabbi Shimon had Amar Rabbi Lazar. Does Rabbi Shimon not agree with that which Rabbi Lazar says? Nashim chayavas ba'achilas matzah, dvar Torah, that women are obligated to eat matzah, and that's a din deraisa. Shenema, the pasuk says, "Lo yisachal alav chametz." Don't eat on chametz. Shivas yomim teichel alav matzahs. For all 7 days, you have to eat matzahs. Because anybody that is not allowed to eat chametz, meaning women, are included in this. Yesham Kumeachal Matzah is obligated to eating matzah. So we say V'hani Nashim, and with regards to women, however, Yesham Bebal Teichel Chametz, Yesham Kumeachal Matzah. Women who are obligated in the issur of eating chametz are certainly obligated in the obligation of eating matzah. Ella Ema, rather you should say as follows. Pesach Matzah Umara, with regards to Pesach Matzah Umara, Barishon Chayva, they are obligated to do so. Barishon means Mikan Va'ilach, thereafter. Rabbi Shimon Omer Pesach ba'anashim chayva b'nashim reshus. Thereafter, Rabbi Shimon says Pesach is still an obligation for men and women. And with regards to women, it is a reshus. It is voluntary, meaning that the way to learn it is that Pesach Matzah are an obligation on the first night. Mikan va'ilach. Thereafter, the Mikan Ve'elech Rishus, meaning matzah and maror are going to be Rishus. You don't have to have matzah and maror. Rabbi Shimon says that Pesach by men is an obligation, and by Nashim, it even for Nashim it's Rishus. There's an interesting question to ask you. What do you mean that maror is a Rishus thereafter? Meaning there's an idea to eat maror the rest of Pesach. So that's an interesting question. But either which way, Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, we will continue on Shabbos with the next Mishnah, Be'ez Hashem, and looking forward to seeing everybody there, and or on Matzah Shabbos. Everybody should have a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh, and to be continued.